Hello guys, it's Ryan Ho back with another video. Today we're going to talk about the Apple AirPods Pro 2. And then we're going to compare this to the original Apple AirPods Pro 1 and see how much better it sounds. And we'll talk about some of the features, but I'm not going to focus on the features as much because there's a lot of tech tubers doing that already. But I'm going to focus mainly on the sound in this video because as an audiophile, I have a lot of like gear, DACs, amps, headphones that I test all the time. So I'm really familiar with sound, so I'm gonna go in depth. And honestly, spoiler alert, it sounds massively better than the original, and at the same price of $250 as the original. I mean, obviously it's a no-brainer to buy the new one because it has better features and it sounds better, right? But we're gonna talk about in what ways it sounds better and all of that. So stay tuned for this video and please like and subscribe down below because it helps my videos out. All right, so let's take a closer look at the AirPods Pro. So, I mean, you can barely tell the difference because they're literally like the same size. Like, they basically look the same too. Like, I put them, you could literally put the other one in the other's cases and it will fit inside the case, which is ridiculous. Like, the shape is exactly the same. You could use the old case and the new one, which is insane, right? So the shape looks exactly the same. If you kind of take a look at kind of where the microphone is, they kind of moved the microphone, right? So on top, the new one has on top, the old one had on the bottom vent, and then the vent is a little smaller actually on the newer one versus the older one. And of course, the back has the same vent right there. Touch controls are basically the same. I think it may be slightly bigger on the new one, but essentially now you can swipe down and change the volume, which is like really nice. Like I wish they did that on the original. But now we have the new one. That is also a new feature that I'm gladly to have. It has longer battery life. The new case is also, it's got wireless charging, which my original didn't have. And then it also comes with, right here for the loop, if you want to kind of hang this on your accessories so you don't lose it. And then it comes with a speaker in case you lose this one. You could, call it out and find it. So that's also nice. So you could find your case, not just your AirPods, right? And then of course each AirPod can play noises by itself and you can find the individual ones even easier now as well. And I think that's very helpful because I've dropped mine and lost mine a lot of times. So finding it is even easier than ever. And of course, the other thing about the features I want to talk about is the noise canceling. So I tested out the noise canceling. It's definitely better. Now the thing is, I think the original is already so good that if you think about I was playing my air conditioner and I could barely hear the hum, and then it was silenced even more by this, but it was already silenced a lot from the original. So the difference might seem small, but I guess it's because the original already did a massively good job. But yes, the noise canceling is actually even better than the original, which is already insane. So this is definitely a feature that people like. I'm almost scared because I was outside and I was testing noise canceling against cars and I literally could not hear the cars around me. And I was like, people could totally just get hit by cars because the noise canceling is that good, which is slightly worse than, but yeah. So be careful when you put on noise canceling so you don't get hurt is my advice. All right, let's talk about sound. The biggest improvement in my opinion is the bass from the original. The bass of the original was basically neutral, flat, and basically boring. The bass wasn't really that much you can hear and it was just kind of there. The new one, you can hear that bass thump. And the best thing about it is that it extends better. It can play sub bass way better than the original. The new driver that they put into it easily kind of plays those lower notes that the original just could not do. And the same for the treble. I think the new driver just has a higher resolution and it can play higher frequencies and you can hear much more of the higher treble detail in it as well. And I think the combination of the new driver, which is also a bigger driver, your bass notes are kind of have more I call physicality. You have a small speaker versus a big speaker, you can feel it more. And so when you hear strings and drums and instruments being played, it just sounds like you're next to them. The bigger driver in there also kind of gives it a more massive feeling, more immersion. A lot of audiophiles would call that has bigger sound stage. That's something I can hear. You sound like you're more inside the room than before because the driver of the other one, it was either further away or just obviously smaller because it sounded like it was here versus the new one just sounds like it's more around you in general. And I think that adds to kind of the bass feeling much more present as well. As you know, I think the tuning of this new device is also kind of different from the original. So I would say the original was tuned like flat and inoffensive, and quite frankly, I think it was kind of boring. Like the bass, like I said, was flat. The treble was kind of reduced. So like, you know, if you have too much treble, you kind of get what people call sibilance, and it kind of gets a little irritating to hear. So I think that the original Apple AirPods was kind of tuned to be very safe, or it was tuned because they just knew the driver couldn't really play it all too well in those highest frequencies and the lowest frequencies very well, so they kind of limited it. I think it's either one of those two answers, because the new AirPods has more bass and more treble boost, and people will call that V-shaped. And essentially, it gives the music a much more excitement, right? Like you can hear much more low end, but then you can kind of hear the top end kind of spike out of that a little bit, and you kind of hear more of it. So this like big contrast makes your music in general sound more lively and exciting, right? And I think that's how I would describe the sound of the new AirPods, more lively and exciting. And I think a lot of people will enjoy this. Like I would say like 99% of people are going to enjoy this better because of that. And in combination with that higher resolution driver in there, like the thing I hear as well is that there's better separation between your instruments. What that basically means is like when there's a lot of things happening, like the vocalist sing, two vocalists are singing at the same time, you hear all the instruments going around, and a bunch of things are layered on top. It's able to kind of keep all of that under control, and you can kind of hear the vocalist sing, and the, you know, two of them sing at the same time, and all that all together in one. And it does that very well. I feel like the old one kind of lacked in that regard. Like it didn't really do that very well. So that all adds to kind of the increase in resolution that I really do feel like this driver leveled up the AirPods from like a Charmander to like a Charizard. It like completely like skipped like the Charmeleon form. Like it's like a massive improvement in my opinion in all regards. So although they may look the same on the outside, on the inside, the changes are massive. It's better in like every single category. It is completely changed, and I think it's completely evolved into a much better product. And I think like other audiophiles with, you know, their other kind of gear that they really like, I feel like this competes much better than the old AirPods. And I think a lot of people could use this as a replacement. Like I'm definitely going to be listening to this all the time. In fact, the original AirPods, I basically listened to it all the time because simply it was very convenient. The sound was good enough for me because I really like the noise canceling for airplanes. I mean, I recently used it too when I was in Las Vegas. People were partying till like 3 a.m. I was trying to sleep, so then I just used it as like a earplugs basically with the noise canceling, and did that really effective. Enjoy listening to this like all the time, and I will be using it, you know, working at the office. Like it doesn't stand out. You can use it on a daily basis and just like, oh, it's just like an AirPods, but secretly like you're just jamming inside in your head. And that's kind of a cool thing to do. So in conclusion, do I recommend the Apple AirPods Pro 2? Most definitely. Like I think this is a clearly better than the original in like every way. It absolutely obliterates the original in terms of sound quality. Like it's just cleaner, clearer, crispier. The tuning's more exciting, it has more bass, it has more treble. Like the bass improvement is just so massive, it's insane. I think a lot of people will really kind of take advantage of this Pro and use it for like content creation a lot, because I think it's really suitable for that and it sounds really good. Obviously, it has a lot of bass and people have different opinions on, you know, how much bass is appropriate, but I think it sounds perfectly fine. I would definitely use it. And like I said, it's just such an exciting sound, such a massive improvement that, yep, it's a total recommend for me. And with the increase in the feature set as well, with, you know, the touch controls, longer battery life, and even more noise canceling, I think, yeah, it is a easy win for Apple. And I think a lot of competitors are going to be scratching their head trying to beat this, because I don't really think this will be beaten very easily. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe down below. Helps my videos out. As always, I make more tech audio reviews here all the time, so you guys don't want to miss out on that. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye.